when someone has impacted you in your life somehow, some way, and then you meet them in person, or you want to meet them in person, it's a whole new level of kind of like completion almost. Like you just feel like, oh my gosh, I really want to just say thank you to this person that's helped me in some way or one way or multiple ways. So that's really what it's been about all week, and just trying to facilitate all the things that I've been a part of all week, and trying to support everyone as well that's doing their own thing. And it's all about community, man.
Welcome to Louisville, Kentucky. We are here at the John Deere booth where they are showcasing their latest and greatest mowers here in their epic booth at the Equip Expo. So much new here from our friends at John Deere, and it's going to be fun to debrief the wonderful week in Louisville because you've been doing so much. So I'm excited. Our special guest today, Naylor Taliaferro. I'm excited to hear how it's all going.
It's been fantastic, Paul, but I'm a little raspy and a little sleepy.
Yeah, I woke up this morning. I was telling Mr. Producer, and I'm checking Instagram about the head here, and it says Naylor Taliaferro liked your post 2 hours ago. I woke up. I'm ready to go. 2 hours ago, he was still up.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm glad you think it's comical.
I mean, it is funny. Hey, I think Payjack got like 9 hours of sleep so far this week. So I mean, I'm at least I'm not. Or maybe he's up to 11 hours. I think he gets like a couple hours every night. So I think I'm ahead of that. I'm ahead of that.
Right.
So, but that's not the goal. The goal isn't to get zero sleep or minimal sleep. The goal is to get as much out of this opportunity as possible. And I just am fortunately in the position where I can really do anything that I can create in my mind, which technically all of us can, right? I mean, starting off at the LCR Summit on Monday, I was leaving everyone with visualization exercises because I feel like I am a visionary that can come up with ideas and I obsess over them. I just see them in my head over and over and over again until they get manifested in my hand or, in a room to reality. So I wanted to share that with the attendees at the LCR Summit. But I have to try and manage all that, right? I can only do so much. I'm only one person, and you, yourself and John Pajak and so many of our friends in the community are always willing to help, and we're all doing different things too. And every year it gets busier and busier. Equip recognizes us even more and more, and we work together, and we just have a phenomenal time growing this community. We've come a long way in like 10 years, but. Yeah, my voice is like shot, and I'm pretty tired, but it was all worth it because I connected with so many people. Mm-hmm. Like after day one, or no, it was after the whole event. After day two of the LCR Summit, later on Tuesday, I was walking through the hotel, and one of our attendees who signed up for the Inner Circle coaching program, he introduced me to his wife for the first time, and he said, "This event has changed my life."
Wow.
And he started tearing up, and his wife started tearing up. I started feeling emotional. I felt like we
Who
had
is
to have
this,
like
if you don't mind me asking?
Alan Lemire.
Oh, from Boston.
Yeah.
I love when he talks, man.
Yeah.
He talks like he's from Boston.
Yeah, so it just kind of caught me off guard. I mean, like people say nice things and thank me and shake all of our hands and take pictures, and that's fantastic and humbling, but every now and again you get a story or a statement like that, and it really
think
hits
about
you.
how much you wanted to shake Myron Golden's hand and tell him. Remember,
right?
We were like Plavsky. He's going to walk by him.
Right. Right. Yeah, but because it's impactful. Like
right.
we totally get. That's why we're with Geek the Freak. You're like, I gotta pee.
Oh, right.
Like everybody has those moments.
I left my shoes at his house. Right. I was all flustered. Just left without shoes on.
Exactly. So we've been there, done that is the point. We get it. We totally get it. When someone has impacted you in your life somehow, some way, and then you meet them in person, or you want to meet them in person, it's a whole new level of kind of completion almost. Like you just feel like, oh my gosh, I really want to just say thank you to this person that's helped me in some way or one way or multiple ways. So that's really what it's been about all week, and just trying to facilitate all the things that I've been a part of all week, and trying to support everyone as well that's doing their own thing. And just, it's all about community, man. That's what it's always been. The first time I came here, I was hooked. I just knew that these were my people, and I just wanted to keep being a part of this community, help grow the community. That kind of became inadvertently, and then I became intentionally. And I've just been having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, Naylor, I was talking to Dr. Frank, our mutual friend, yesterday. He came up to me and he's like, Naylor's on fire. He's like, he's starting to get it, Paul. Dr. Frank is very, very intelligent, and he's a student of health, but he's also a student of business, and Dan Kennedy in marketing. And he's excited because he's like, Naylor, you're launching into this next level at a rapid speed, and he's discerning that. So explain to everybody, since we went to that Myron Golden event in May, how much your life's changed and why it's changed, because you're a whole new man since summertime.
Yeah. Well, one, Dr. Frank, it gets me excited talking to him because his excitement is contagious anyway, but also like talking to him is like talking to someone in one of the mastermind groups outside of our community that I've connected with, like the Dan Kennedys. Obviously not actually Dan Kennedy, unfortunately, but it's like we're in a mastermind. I'm talking to Dr. Frank from like that mastermind because he just knows so much. So it's not like I have to explain everything I said to any single thing I said to him. He was like, "Oh my God," like he knew exactly what I was saying. It wasn't like I had to explain the theory or the philosophy or the steps. Or like he was like finishing my sentence. Well, did you do this? What about that? What was your this? What was that? And so it made me super pumped because I was like talking to like a like-minded person that like literally was on the same page, where most of us are kind of at different levels with that. But basically, so what happened, in a nutshell, 6 months ago, as you know, we went to an amazing event, and Myron Golden said at the end of that, there's one thing I can guarantee, regardless of what you got out of this or what you did, if you took my offer or whatever, ultimately you all have a new level of awareness. Remember he said that was like last thing he said. And that was 100% true because something like changed in both of our minds, and we just started really thinking differently and starting to focus on different things. And I just immersed myself with as much education and being around, like David Shands, to more people that we met there, and Omar Decory, and all these different levels, and obviously Myron Golden and everyone in his group, just to immerse myself in that mindset. And what the biggest shift was, and what made this week go so well for me, and what made Monday and Tuesday so successful on many levels, is that I went from feeling uncomfortable to like selling things, to people, to transitioning to serving people at the highest level.
Wow.
So that I can help impact their lives. So like that's a change. So when you think that way, it's like easy, honestly.
And then you get the tangible evidence of a grown man from Boston crying, telling you that you changed his life.
Right.
Like it's that instant.
Which is proof of what Myron was telling us. Like literally, like people think, offering someone additional help, whatever that looks like. Hey, whether it's buy my book or my course or come to my coaching group or come to this event, whatever that is, that takes a step out of your comfort zone potentially. There's an investment in time from, your home, your family potentially, money obviously to get there and whatever it costs. Or if you're just doing something virtually, it still takes time to sit down and do that and costs money. But when someone does that, like you literally are helping them, because when they do that, they're taking another step. They feel confident. They might still feel a little nervous, but like if you do everything right, they're super excited and they thank you and they feel served, and it's an amazing feeling all the way around, and that's what I've been feeling this whole time. And then the energy of that small event, has just spread throughout the entire Equip. Like I saw Keith Kalfas. He's like, dude, I heard the summit was fire. And I'm like, yeah. And we had a whole epic conversation. He gets it kind of like Dr. Frank as well.
Yeah.
But, and then, I saw Stan at a different
Stan's
booth.
been singing your praises.
Yeah, exactly. He's you heard about it too?
Yeah, he's one of the key voices in our industry, Stanley Dirt Monkey Genetic. And he was a speaker at the event. But what's cool about Stan and Jonathan Potoshnik, these guys are so humble. Even though they were the speakers, they were sitting there in the crowd, taking notes, asking questions. I mean, JP, the smartest guy in the room, and he's asking John Pajak, hey, what did you mean by that? And Stanley the same way. And I took a note from that these guys are continuously learning and humble.
Yeah.
They weren't out in the hallway like, I'm too important to be here. They're students. Like, oh, I could learn a little bit more about this or that.
Yeah, and Stanley literally said that to us all, and he's been saying it recently that he's a student. He's always a student, still a student, and he said to me off air, like it was either Monday or Tuesday of the LCR Summit. He had said to me, he was asking about Vid Summit. He's, because I told the story about Vid Summit, so he was like later on. He said, so you went to Vid Summit, how was it? I was like, oh, it was good. And I talked to him about it. He's like, are you going next year? I'm like, I'm not sure. He's like, if you go, let me know. I was like, all right, cool. And he was like, a matter of fact, anything that you go to, let me know. I'll go with you. I'm like, okay. And he was like, I'm in a season of learning right now, so I just want to go to all the stuff that you're going to. So I don't know what kind of what kind of world I created at the LCR Summit, but it was electric. Like, we were all on the same page. We were all there to learn and teach, be students and teachers, and it was amazing. I mean, Elijah was there. Mr. Producer dropped in. I don't know what the short time you were there, what energy you got. Elijah, you were there for 2 days. It was something, right?
And Elijah's our cameraman, but you're an entrepreneur. You own a small business. Did you learn just being in the atmosphere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm tired, but I have a sound bite for you guys. So, because I wrote this to Justin Moore, our sponsorship coach, because I gave him a follow. I just kind of filled him in earlier in the week, and this is what he said. I don't know if you want me to read that over the air, but
you can say
use
like,
a different word.
Yeah.
He said, "Heck yes!" Like, with a whole bunch of S's. Heck yes, dude! Congrats! With a bunch of exclamation points. Awesome update. How did it go? Making the offer? How exactly did you do it? So I tried to make it as short and sweet as possible. But ultimately, the key to this, the soundbite for this episode is, I told him, but the secret is the mind shift. I went from feeling uncomfortable with the idea of selling to make money and became obsessed with serving to make a difference. So, you want me to say that again?
Please. That was a mic drop.
All right. So, for me, the secret is the mind shift. I went from feeling uncomfortable with the idea of selling to make money and became obsessed with serving to make a difference. So it's just literally a mind shift, and then I didn't feel uncomfortable. I felt, convicted to do whatever I could possibly do to help someone. I had a conversation with someone that was on the fence. We met at the lobby last night, and we got ahead and signed them up for the program. So. It's just one of those things, that I feel like I've been waiting to experience my whole life, and I'm finally in the right place at the right time. And I immersed myself for 6 months preparing for this. Mm-hmm. As you know, I would always say all this stuff to you guys, and you're like, okay, but I was just constantly just obsessing over it because I wanted it to go well. I wanted to serve at the highest level, and I was nervous the entire time because I wanted to make sure that I got everything exactly right. And some things I might have forgotten a sentence here or there, a weird word here or there, something like that. But at the end of the day, the message was clear. And at the very end of the day, when I shared the opportunity for everyone, I didn't even have to finish. I could just see in everyone's faces. I'm like, I got to wrap this up. I don't need to overteach. I don't need to drag this out. Mm-hmm. I just need to say a couple things. I didn't even finish. And the Allers are like, taking stuff from Cornell Mac, and it was great.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we got Naylor banging on the desk here.
I'm excited.
Oh, let's channel the energy into Instagram Reel. Do you have that memorized? You're saying about obsession with serving.
That
would be a good Instagram Reel if you could say it without reading it.
Yeah, I'm tired, so okay. I have it memorized. I said it earlier. I said it to you earlier, but it wasn't exactly like that. So. I'll let me read it one more. Just keep talking.
Right.
I'll read it one more time.
You can look it up, but I'm thinking of a nice little Instagram clip because
I understand.
Whether you're selling a landscape enhancement, you're selling lawnmowers. Hey, we got Payjack on time. Good job, John. But the issue is when you can step in, and I haven't gotten to where you're at with that mentality. But and Mr. Producer, we were talking about this at breakfast about serving your customer. Like that's the secret to success is getting obsessed with serving your customer rather than selling. But the way you said it was epic.
Do you want me to say it into the camera or say it
into
to you
the camera? But what I want to ask you a question. So when my video editor cuts it up, it looks really good. What question could I ask you to get you? What did you?
I don't know. Did I just come up with this on my own while I was talking, or did you say something that made me say this?
I'll just ask you this. What has been the what is the most important thing you've learned about business that's changed your life?
So I went from feeling uncomfortable of selling to make money to being obsessed with serving to make a difference.
Share, like, subscribe.
Follow for more.
Follow for more. That's epic, Naylor. That's so good.
Okay.
So good.
Thanks.
Man.
That's all you get. I don't have any more brain power to remember.
No, that's all I need.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes when you're learning a life lesson, 30 minutes ago, Mr. Producer and I had this conversation at breakfast after he told me I was low energy.
Yeah.
It's like, go get some coffee. You're low energy today. But we talked about when you have a customer, it's about serving them. Like, what little way can you serve them better?
Right.
And we just had that conversation, and then 30 minutes later, you're talking about an obsession with serving.
Yeah, and I literally just came up with this at 1:03 in the morning, so that's why it's not memorized yet. But yeah, I just was typing Justin, and I was like, I had that realization literally because I'm trying to. I've shared this example. This is you're living. This is proof, right? I shared this at the summit. Like, Justin Moore went from a coach to being a student. Like, I literally said, I think day one, I said, I was talking about networking and the different levels, paid and organic, and Justin Moore is obviously some examples of paid networking, like how to network with someone fast and get results fast. You pay for speed, right? But now Justin and us we're all friends. And I saw him. I met him for the first time at Vid Summit and in person, all that. And then later on, like, he was asking me questions about live events because he's going to start his own live event like in March or something like that. And he was asking me questions. So now he's a student because I may not know everything. Obviously, I mean, it might not be obvious, but I know that I don't know everything about events. But I've definitely done a few and learned a few things more than he has. So whatever I know that he doesn't, I'm going to serve him and answer all of his questions because he sure as heck has answered all of my questions, for brand partnerships and event sponsorships and all that. He's helped us so much. So I've been going back and forth with him ever since Vid Summit. He'll ask me questions and I'll answer them. We'll voice message each other. We'll text each other, all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. So in summary, Naylor's hosted 3 key events in Louisville this week. Monday and Tuesday was the LCR Summit, which was a humongous success. I was blessed to be there in so many ways. Then yesterday we had the morning show in room B103 where we did podcasting from the stage. And then in the evening you had the rally, which hundreds of people came out to just hang out on the Ohio River there at the KFC Yum Center. And had some really good conversations. Dr. Frank and I got to talk with Erica and Josh. They're
inspired.
They're inspired, but I'm saying you can tell they're elevating to the next level. And just you get in a room where you got Dr. Frank and then Erica and Josh and my buddy Felipe, who used to work with me, and now he has his own fertilizer business. He's like, Paul, I'm doing $250,000 a year. I used to pay him like $12. This was a long time ago. You can't find anyone for $12 an hour anymore. But maybe it was $15 an hour. But
right.
And now he learned, from being an employee, started his own business. Now he's making $250,000. Well, anyway, we're sitting there talking, and it was just like we're all about to run through a wall. We're just sharing stories, and we're all fired up.
Yeah, well, they were the Krupins were at the VIP dinner. Erica came here for the LCR Summit, and her husband Josh came later, but she bought him, so he didn't come to the summit, but she still wanted him to get some sort of benefit out of it because he also is in business.
Tree climber.
And I think he is or wants to start doing stuff on the side or his own thing, right? So she's like, this would be good for you. So she got him the ticket, a VIP dinner ticket at the LCR Summit. So even though he didn't attend, she got him a ticket, before they sold out. So the two of them went at the dinner, and I know they were both elevated to be in that room as we all were with all of our speakers and each other. So it was a good time all the way around. So thank you. Thank you for having me.
Was there anything? I know your voice is going, and you're a friend of the show, but I think you made the point that anyone listening, if you want to make more money, it's not about just going and selling better. And some of these guys I watch on Instagram, they make me so mad. They're popular, but they're just full of themselves, and it's disgusting. But what Naylor's locked into, what Myron Golden's locked into, what Dan Kennedy and Dr. Frank and so many of these people have figured out is if you can view your customer that you're solving their problem and you're serving them, and then you actually serve them and solve their problem, they're going to happily pay you. I'm happily going to pay Elijah. I'm happily going to pay Mr. Producer because they served me. I'm satisfied. They're gonna send me an invoice and I'm going to pay them, and it's a win-win-win. Everyone wins, and that's what Naylor is teaching us: is that you serve someone. You serve Alan from Boston. He's crying. His life's growing, and he pays you, and he's happy to do it. You're happy. He's happy. Everyone's winning.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right. Well, your voice is waning, so we'll kick you out of here. Thank you to our friends at John Deere. And if you're a first-time listener to the Green Issue podcast, Naylor's by far my most interviewed guest by a long shot. I think you've been on like 20 times.
That was the first
25.
one. First one at the radio station.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
First interview and many in between. But thank you to our friends at John Deere. We are here in their booth. So much new stuff going on, Naylor. If you see, there's a weed eater over there on the mower, so you're going to the back fence. You have a place to hold it.
Yeah.
Some of the technology they have on these new John Deere mowers is just stunning, to where there's actually like this hidden modem hidden in the mower so that you can track where it's at.
Nice.
And details about what's going on with your John Deere mower. So
nice.
Big shout outs to them for everything that they got going on here. Lots of new.
This is sweet. This is a sweet setup. It's an improvement over last year. So I mean, last year was amazing.
Thanks to Mr. Producer. So we had plans to be here podcasting, and he had created that pre-roll talking about come join us at the John Deere booth, and it was epic. And they're like, oh, we got to make even better booth to match the excellence of Mr. Producer.
So you guys elevated John Deere's design.
Mr. Producer did, yeah.
Nice.
So
nice.
it's epic. If you're at Equip Expo walking by the John Deere booth, just the whole booth, like they have the attention to detail where they have these neon green, the John Deere green underneath the mowers, so they all light up. They built a podcast studio here. Their staff has just been so fun to work with. So. Yeah. All right. Well, I got the big fish coming up, Kaiser.
Yeah.
I got to save my voice for him. He's always a fun one.
Congratulations to that. Congratulations to all of this and John Deere. And like I said, it looks amazing. Congratulations to Mr. Producer for elevating the design. That's awesome. And I just wanted to say that anyone that came here to see this in person, literally now they know what you're talking about, with Mr. Producer sitting there off to the side with headphones and no mic. And he's just making jokes and smiling.
When I say Mr. Producer over there, that's what's really going on.
There he is. We can look right at him, but you can't
There's
hear anything.
There's no takeout window.
Right. That's the only difference.
All right. Thanks, Rookie. Good job.
Thanks.